Hello everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thanks so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take a quick look at Matic, see what's going on here and what we can do to maximize our profits, all that good stuff. But we're going to take a look at Bitcoin first so we can get kind of a baseline on the market. So I think it's important to kind of draw some things to your attention. Now, this isn't foolproof, just speculation, of course. Most things are, but based on history, coins have a tendency of repeating themselves, right? So with the previous sell-off, I just want to kind of bring your attention, El Salvador candle September 7th, price comes down, comes up, gives us a little dead cat bounce, and right back down again. I feel like we're shaping up for something very similar, where we might see a dead cat bounce down to 42 or back down to 48, and essentially just get a small little reset. It may not be substantial, but keep in mind a 3% sell-off from Bitcoin, which happened on Sunday, by the way, resulted in about a 10 to 12% retracement in most altcoins. Okay, so just keep that in mind, right? If you have a stop loss in place for your altcoins, maybe consider removing or just putting it very low. Might want to also consider taking some profits. So if this does in fact come down on us, you actually take a little bit and you can feel better about yourself, right? Whatever, the whole concept is to make sure we are profitable and to ensure that you don't lose out, right? So that's why I'm mentioning this. And you can also see here too, 1, 2, 3 days and red. 1, 2, 3, red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, dead cat. We're at 3 days right now. Okay, so I'm just a little concerned with today being the third green day, so to speak, for Bitcoin. Are we going to see a fourth red day? History is telling us we should expect that. So I don't know. That's just my thoughts. I hope I'm wrong, but key takeaway here is that we're not in bad shape. The 200-day 7 moving average is kind of working as a support level. And if you look at the 4-hour chart too, you can see that we're below all the moving averages. It's just kind of keeping the price action down. So until we can pass 52,500, close successfully on the 1-day chart, then I don't feel any confidence or faith in Bitcoin right now. Okay, so just bear that in mind. There's a lot that needs to happen before we should feel like the market's back on track. Okay, so taking a look at Matic here. Oh, you know what? Let me set this up first and just preface here as well. I'm not a financial advisor, right? I just love teaching people how to trade. So if you are new to the channel, thank you first of all for joining me here. I hope you learned something today. I've been trading for over 15 years, and my goal is to help you become more of an effective trader. I have a trading community with that designed purpose, growing ever so rapidly, and it's an amazing, rewarding experience for everyone. So check that out in your own time. We're actually going to transition from Patreon to a website platform that's going to have much more functionality, much more resources built in, and it'll be kind of your daily driver, right? That's kind of the concept there. So check that out. Of course, when it occurs, I'll let you know. Obviously, I'll send a message to let you guys know when that is live. That will be this month. Take a look here at Matic. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the normal stuff. Moving averages are kind of further away. We're not needing to worry about that much, but you can tell the 50 kind of worked as a support level and essentially get the price action higher. You can also see that according to Fibonacci retracement, what is it? $1.97 is the strong support level right now. So the price would not go below 197 on the 1-day candlesticks. And ultimately the 1-day candlestick, whenever the price closes on the 1 day, that's the most relevant, most important time frame I feel to look at for support and resistance levels. Okay, so that's really important to note. Also understand as well too that we're kind of trending up here within this resistance channel, and I'll explain more about that as well in a moment. And actually, let's take a look really quick at the RSI. We're under 70, which is great, so there's still more room for growth. We're not overextended by any means. Matic still has more room for more potential for growth here, but keep in mind we're approaching all-time high territory. Now let me bring this to your attention here as well. The resistance channel I'm referring to is back here. So if you see the all-time high was $2.70. The 1-day candlestick high close is 245. So 245 upwards of 270 is a resistance channel. So we got to be able to respect the fact that that is a strong likelihood to be able to keep the price action down. So, we don't need to celebrate until we close above 270 on the 1-day candlestick, if that makes any sense at all. Now, the good news is on the short term, the most recent high close, we're above that as well. So we're above that resistance channel. So we're kind of in between two channels. And what we're looking at here, of course, is a simple fact of the matter that we're right in between these two major support and resistance channels. And there's a great chance we're probably going to see the price kind of go sideways between those two for a little while. We want healthy consolidation right where the price is at right now. We don't want to continue to push up even harder. I know there's probably a lot of people out there, pump it up. Yeah, that's all well and good, but the harder you pump something, the harder it's going to fall down, right? This has to calm down a little bit because the last 2 trading days, we've increased, get this, 49% from bottom to top in just under 48 hours. That's too much growth in my personal opinion, and we need to see some kind of consolidation, some kind of healthy sideways action. Because if it keeps going up right now, just bear in mind it's going to come back down even harder, especially traveling into a resistance zone. We need consolidation prior to moving into a resistance channel. That's just kind of the easy way around it, or the better way to get through it. Okay, so just note those are some factors kind of taking play here. Also note as well, let's look at the moving average. We're above both 50 and the 200 on the 4-hour chart. That's fantastic. We are just below 70 on the RSI. It's kind of tapering off right now, of course, because it got overextended. That makes sense as well. Let's go ahead and remove this Fibonacci. We'll go ahead and draw out a new one. We'll get these lines out of the way so we can kind of see this a little better. And what I want to draw to your attention here is TD sequential. It looks like we're a bit on the overextended side here as well. We're approaching that. All right, so let's talk about this here. Now, history, if you're familiar with TD sequential and how it works, it counts up from a 1 to a 9, taking the fourth previous candlestick, and if it's higher than that, it essentially continues to count. Once it hits a 9, that's when you should expect a retracement or consolidation. So if we look back here, you can see Matic comes up to a 9, consolidates just enough to get a reset, back up to a 9, consolidation, up to a 6, and then Bitcoin took a dump, right? That's essentially what happened. So that being said, we have these nice healthy continuations up to a 9 and sideways action. Right now we're at a 7, okay? So not to say that we're going to hit a 9 per se. We could get a reset and the price comes right back down. But what I'm getting at here is the fact that, going past a 9 on TD sequential on the 4-hour is just kind of a cause for, I wouldn't say concern, but you should expect the price to correct itself soon after. So we're at a 7 right now. Hypothetically, we've got 8 more hours worth of bullish continuation to the upside. I say hypothetically because it hit a resistance here, obviously, which is this resistance channel at 246, and it cannot seem to pass that. So if you hadn't taken profits around 240, 245, I know hindsight's 2020, but you probably should have, right? I know I did in that sense, just based on the simple fact that was a profit target for our community, okay? So 240, I had that specifically placed because of Fibonacci retracement levels, but also the fact that it was a major resistance channel. So again, that one-day candlestick close, the all-time high close, is right at this line, 245. Okay, so just note that's going to be a tough resistance level to break. We want the one-day candlestick to break above that and close above that in order for that to be considered a support. Okay, we're far away from that right now, and I think the continuation of where it's come from, as well as Bitcoin's recent potential sell-off. You can kind of see you got a red candlestick forming here for Bitcoin. Those two things are factoring in, and it's kind of pushing it down. So keep this in mind. Look at this. This is a good example, prime example here. This retracement here from Bitcoin in the last 4 hours is 1.96%. The retracement from Matic, albeit a bit on the overextended side, is 8.8%. So you got to understand, coins that are overextended are selling off pretty hard, pretty fast. So if you're in the profit target range, don't get greedy. Don't be a diamond hand holder. I can assure you, you're going to kind of suffer if you do. And make sure that you take some profits while you still can. Okay. So just some friendly advice there. All right. So those are just some correlations that I wanted to kind of bring to your attention. Let's go ahead and wrap it up with a 1-hour chart and see where we're at essentially with the cloud. I'm sure we're going to be well above, but we're probably going to see some sell signals soon. Let me explain that. So we're above the cloud here. Great. We're a conversion lines above the baseline, also great. So check that. However, this lagging span is coming to a head. It's almost intersecting with the price action. So unless we can get the price to shoot up right now, then this has a strong likelihood of intersecting with the price action. And if, in case you don't know what I'm referring to, Ishimoku Cloud has like 3 rules. First rule is the price has to be above the cloud. That's check number 1. Check number 2, conversion line, the faster moving average here, has to be above the baseline. Check number 3 is the lagging span. This lagging span cannot have intersected with the price action yet. Once it does, that's considered a sell signal. You want to close your long position, or at the very least, trim your position. Okay. So just some stuff to kind of consider. At this point, we are still good to go. But in the next couple hours, that could very well change if that lagging span intersects with the price action and we don't get much more movement to the upside from Matic soon. The last thing to note here is TD sequential tells us we had a little reset. We're at a 1 now. So hypothetically, we could see 9 hours more, or 8 to 12, 8 to 10 hours more continuation to the upside. Do I personally think that's going to happen? No, based on the fact that on the 4-hour chart, we are seeing a pretty strong rejection at the resistance level here. And furthermore, on the 1 day, of course, we need to get this to close above in order for that to be considered a support level. I don't think that's very likely right now. I think we're going to see the price trend closer to 228, depending on Bitcoin's behavior for a moment longer, and then of course maybe leg up to the upside again to test that resistance level, probably within the next 24 to 48 hours. But keep in mind, most of this is contingent on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin hadn't, tentatively increased the last 3 days in a row, Matic would not be behaving this way. Yes, it's a good coin. Yes, it can fly free from Bitcoin. It hasn't yet, and it can't quite yet, based on the simple fact that Bitcoin is still at a state of indecision, fear, uncertainty, and doubt right now. What the index is somewhere around 15. It's very, very low. We have to be out of that red category for the fear in order for coins like this to explode like we want, right? Just bear in mind, those are some things that's going on right now. So hopefully that helps give perspective for you. And this didn't provide more questions than answers. If you found benefit, comment below. If not, that's okay too. Obviously, consider joining my Patreon community because we got some really cool, awesome, aspiring traders in there, including myself. You can communicate with me directly, and it's just a very rewarding experience. Check that out in your own time. Thanks again for your time here today. We'll look forward to seeing the next one. Have a good one. Take care.